Good morning, Infinite Energy. This is Lady Duchess, and today I'm going to be talking about love. Love is the most important thing. It is what we live for, what we breathe for, what we desire. Love is a healer, it's a comforter, it's a place of pain, it's a place of agony, it's a place of wealth. It's a place of kindness and compassion and all of these things. And sadly, it's also a place where deception flows, being used and abused. And most of us in here have been that way. Most of us in here have loved somebody that did not love us back, that didn't put the energy back into us, and it drained us and it changed us and it made us be different people than who we actually set out to be. Then they come to you, or they come to me, they come to us, and they want us to fix it. They want us to do spells. They want us to be the answer. But the answer 9 times out of 10 is from within. So I'm going to give you 3 top reasons why love spells will not work. I made some notes. So if you see me looking over, I'm looking over my notes. The first reason is, and don't get mad at me, you don't have any skills. Have you ever seen someone who can't cook try to cook? Or someone who can't drive try to drive? They fluff around, bumble here and there, bungle there, get upskittled and upset, depressed or angry, annoyed, defeated, and the results are very iffy indeed. If ever, when we get the result that may well be like a burn mass on a plate or a car in a ditch. People who start with anything at all are going to be in that position. Like, magic is no different. Like, of course, if you can't do it and you don't have the skills yet, you're going to make a disappointing mess. So you need to remember that this when you start out on something new like this. But you need to take your disappointment and your anger and depression and say, right, so that was that. Let's do it again. So have I learned anything yet? That's like the main thing. That's like the first reason why your spell won't work, because you don't have the skills. You can't get into this. You can't get into witchcraft or get the path, and then 3 months later, because you done read a couple of books, looked at a whole bunch of YouTube videos, like mine, and then start to do it. You have to learn and change the way you approach things in life to acquire skills, especially if you're not naturally acclimated to it. You got to change your frame of mind. Somebody once told me the hardest thing to do to change in anything in life is a person's mind. Goes back to the biblical when it says a reprobated mind. And that's what a lot of people have. We are so stagnated in one thing that we lose focus and we don't understand why we can't change or the things around us, because you got to first start with you. The first thing that you got to realize is, for the skills, is that you got to be able to control your state of mind. You got to be able to breathe, meditate very deep, come to highly energized states. You got to be able to control your focus of attention. Like, you have to be able to hold on to an idea or purpose steadily in your mind. You have to be able to visualize things, to see things, envision things, ideas, outcomes. You got to be able to see that. You got to be able to read, sense, and feel energy, to be responsive to the invisible components of anything or any situation. These sorts of skills are like kind of unique to magic. And even though each person is born with them, they are not practiced at school or modeled in a home usually. So it kind of takes time for us to learn and do things to become good at them. So until we kind of realize this and do this, your magic will suffer. And the lack of skills in that area, it doesn't mean that you can't do magic and you can't do things. It just means that you have to learn and you got to be patient. The second thing is no knowledge. magic is one of those things that you really don't get into, or you really can't grasp it until you start digging and searching for yourself. Real magic is rare, like a rare beast indeed. Kind of like what you find after searching on the bookshelf, which is like basically like a load of bullshit, if you will. So you gotta like first acquire the basic knowledge of magic. It's kind of difficult to endure, comparing with learning about geometry or how to grow a houseplant from seed. Like another problem is with the no knowledge is that everything is kind of like in bits and pieces, from this source to that source across all ages and cultures. It's a lot of stuff that just doesn't match. So you have to be really careful about who you listen to or who teaches you or whatever the case may be. Many people try to sit down and puzzle stuff together, and you will spend like your whole entire life trying to do that. So the best thing to do is let the spirit guide you so that you can learn and acquire knowledge, because that helps you. The last thing is like no confidence. It's the last thing, but it's probably the most important thing. There isn't a single thing you can do well without being confident, whether it's sex, music, dancing, typing, cooking, swimming, riding a horse, riding a motorcycle, whatever. Like, it takes confidence. If you haven't got any confidence, then you're going to be feeble, hesitant, reversed, whimpering out. The first hurdle or difficulty. That's what we do. The first time we try something and it don't work, we are like pissed and we're like, I can't do this because it didn't plan out the way that you thought it was. There was one single thing that you can do to have confidence, and it's just really believe in yourself. Find that place really deep and just dig and figure out that root. Like, what made me feel this way? How can I be better? There isn't a perfect simile for what happens to teenage witches or young magic people who don't even believe wholeheartedly that magic is actually real. You got to believe it. Yes, there's magic, but there's a whole lot of bullshit too. But we are equipped to find our own way. If we believe that there is, we treat ourselves gently at the start, like you would like a dog you're trying to train, like to sit down and stuff like that. I know, I probably shouldn't have compared it to a dog. But you get my point. You get my point. You get my point. Okay, so back to love and why love spells don't work and how that applies to your life. At the end of the day, before you seek any type of spell or to love anybody else, you need to first love yourself. That's the most important part. At the end of the day, it's really about how you feel about yourself, because of law of attraction. If you love yourself, then you will put that out in the universe. The universe will see that and respond. A lot of us don't even love ourselves, but we want somebody else to love us better than we love ourselves. That doesn't even make sense. And it just came out of my mouth. So anyway, that's my video for today about love. Why your love spells don't work and how they can work if you apply yourself. Now, the flip side to this, and I'm going to add that to the end, you know, the person got to love you back. Come to me spells and love spells, breakup spells, like stuff like that. If that person doesn't love you, it will not work. I don't care how much confidence you have. I don't care how much knowledge you have. Ooh, or skills. Because all you're going to do is make the situation worse. So, that's my video. People ask me, and I'll share this. People ask me all the time about my husband. Like, why do he love you so much? Like, oh my God, I could tell he just love you and blah, 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 blah. My husband loved me before this. This has always been a part of me. He has encouraged it from the beginning, even when I wasn't too sure about it. And I love him for that. You know, We are bound together, but we were bound together before any of this. So you have to have a real love. You have to have a true love. They have to love you just as much as you love them. It will not work. I don't care how much money you spend, how many practitioners you go to, because I turn down stuff like this. If I get a sense or I look at his picture and I know that he don't love you, I'm not going to let you waste your money. But some of y'all are hard-headed because y'all want it anyway, and I don't care. Because you don't want to feel anything. But that's not life, and it's not realistic, because you are supposed to feel things. Pain, hurt, sorrow, despair, you're supposed to. So my suggestion to you is, if you are in a relationship with somebody and it's not happening the way that you think that it should, keep magic out of it. Because you got to figure out what the root is of the problem. And sometimes he's just not that into you. Or she's just not that into you. You being used or whatever the case may be. Don't waste your time on a love spell if love isn't really there. Because that's all you're doing is wasting time. Nobody wants the ramifications of a spell for a man or a woman who did not love them in the beginning. You will have all kind of hell. And I don't want you to have that, because I love you. I love you, Infinite Energy. Have a great and outstanding day.